there was something our fathers touched that we have not touched. But a lot of us claim to be too spiritual. So when we have used sound to excite ourselves too much, so we use sound to entice people to pray, which is an aberration. Babalola did not need sound to pray on the mountains before his feet imprinted before he had a knee print on the rocks in Ilesha. He did not need sound to pray to that level. In 2030, it will be 100 years that man departed. And the baton has been hanging for 100 years. And nobody has touched it for 100 years. We still refer to the days of Babalola. I heard that in his meeting, after meeting like this, one of his daughters will gather people and say, all of you that are going to Ibadan, gather here. They will gather here. They will hold their hands together. And in 2 seconds, they are gone. Teleport. They will teleport to Ibadan. She will return and say, oh yeah, the people going to Ondo, gather here. That transport system was not a new. They did not have to give testimony on the altar for that transport system. Witches fly today and disappear. They don't come to give testimony on the altar. But we give testimony because we buy car, or we bought a car, or we had a miracle alert, or they paid you a pension of how many years. That is our own testimony. Meanwhile, the testimony of the fathers that we came out from was that they found God. Their testimonies were that they touched something in God. I was reading a documentary, it's on my phone, of a particular woman. They call her Saint Mariam, Saint something. She's a lady. Since she died, her body has refused to decay. They did not embalm her. Her body is not decaying for years. The video is on my phone. Her body is still there as it was when she was alive. It has refused to decay. Somebody touched God to the point that in her death, the same life was still with her. It's you that thought she died. She just shifted to another generation, another world. It's you that thought she died. Her body is still there. Elisha died, and after how many years of his death, they were running from a battle, and they had one of their soldiers that was dead, and they threw him where Elijah's bones were, and he came back to life. So his bones would also testify that this man found God. But here we are. Welcome to the 21st century church. That they say that the church is our own club. So because of that, they will remix what the word sing and then bring it to the church and say we are giving glory to the Lord. Everybody stand up and let's worship the Lord. We have used that smoke machine to the glory of God is no more relevant. So the smoke machine is. Who was this patriarch that whenever he's ministering, fire falls on his head? I heard that 2 or 3 times fire extinguishers came to his meeting to quench the fire on people's head. Fire, literal fire. These were men that found. Look at their stories. They all found God through dark seasons, and that God they found, they held him even when the day broke on them. They held. The reason why you will betray God when you see 1 million is because you did not journey with God through dark seasons. The reason why you will disappoint God if you see $10,000 tomorrow is because you did not find him in dark seasons. You found him when everything was good. You see, now when everything was good in the country, everybody is a powerful minister of God. Now the nation is as if it's shaking. Nobody wants to do vigil again. Everybody is applying safety first. There is a God that our generation is preaching that they did not know. There is a God we are preaching that we don't know. There is a God we are preaching. There is a God we are preaching that we have not yet found. And if we must find him, we must return back to the caves. We must return back to the caves where there is nobody to entice us again. And then we must tarry until we find him. If you are very serious, you can press and find God. And let it not just end there, let it journey home. that you will tell him, I am tired of this normal Christian that they have presented to us in our time. I want to find you real. What did Babalola touch? That he came to a river and prayed on the river and men drank it dry. People go there to drink and they will think they are drinking water, but as they are drinking water, they are healed of any infirmity. He prayed and he was thirsty. He spoke to a tree and the tree began to gush out water. Men that found God. The gospel we speak of is not in eloquent speeches, it's in demonstration of power. For this power, we find it from a place. We must dig down to find it. I want to know that God that Babalola knew. I want to know that God that Bensi Dahosa knew. I want to know that God that Catherine Kuma knew. I want to know that God that. How can one man stand and say, by my word there will be no rain, for a period of 3.5 years, and it was so? Which God did that man find? How did he find that God? What is our generation presenting to us? How we have become so fake that we don't know the original anymore. We have accepted falsehood that we don't know the original anymore. When Paul spoke, nations shifted. When Peter spoke, nations shifted. We are speaking every day and nothing is happening. We have created revival programs and no revival is happening. We have done habits talking about revival that has not happened. Are we not tired of this normal life? Every day you come, people follow the anointing. They follow the anointing, but their life remains the same. But in those days, when a man fell, he fell because something knocked him. And when he's standing a new man. When Saul was on his way to Damascus, Jesus encountered him on the way, and he was knocked down. And from that day, the life of a killer became the life of a preacher. He was transformed from a killer to a preacher. What gospel have we preached all these years? Take me deeper through this journey, Lord.
Jesus,
This journey, Lord, with you, my Lord. Draw me deeper through this journey, Lord. Through this journey, Lord, with you, my Lord.